But right now, I'm going to be talking with Lync, Growfitter, Onion, Bharatbox as well, and just discussing decentralized dApp economies with containers. So, of course, containers is a product which we are launching on Supra's L1, and we're going to be chatting for the next 25 minutes. With me is Sanmati, who is the CEO of Growfitter. I also have Praj Biswal, who is the CMO of Bharatbox. In terms of speakers from Onion and Lync, I'm not quite sure exactly who's representing them. It could be Sam and Vish as well. So if that is you guys, then please just intro yourselves. Sam, I see you have been made a speaker by our host.
Yeah, I'm from Growfitter, James.
Great stuff, Sam. Then let's start off with you. Give us a quick intro to Growfitter, who you are, and a little bit about Growfitter as well. And then I'll move through the rest of the panel.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. So I'm Sam. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Growfitter. Just to give a small snippet about us, we are one of the biggest RWA and brand NFT rewards platform. We have more than 2 million plus app downloads and partnerships with more than 100 plus premium brands, right from Puma, Jockey, Gillette, P&G. We've now partnered with Sandbox, and we also appeared on a very famous TV show called Shark Tank. How many of you have seen Shark Tank? So we came on Shark Tank India, and it was a big hit. We got a deal from one of the sharks, and we got 5 million views on YouTube. And fortunately, now we are also featuring on another TV show in crypto, and it's called Crypto Nights. We had a fantastic shoot in Malaysia. We were the finalist, and it's going to be aired on Amazon in the coming days. So all excited, and we'd love to partner with Supra. And as a part of this live fest, we will be giving some prizes during the chat. Stay aligned.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, man. So we got some extra prizes here to all of our listeners and participants on the space. That's cool. Vish, why don't you just introduce yourself and where you're from?
Hey, thanks, James. So, hey, everyone. My name is Vish. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Lync, and we are creating the mobile-centric layer. We have been working with Supra for almost a year now. We have been leveraging to create the loot box. We have worked with great projects like Growfitter, community gaming, and a lot of gaming projects at the same time. And we are a big fan of containers. So yeah, super excited to be here, and would love to share more details about the DeFi.
Awesome. Thank you, Vish. And then if you could just give us a quick rundown of Onion and an introduction to your intro to Web3, how you got into Web3 and what you guys are up to.
Hey, yeah. Thank you for that quick intro. This is Stars, and I'm the co-founder for Onion. We are basically building blockchain infrastructure to help onboard RWA projects onto Onion. And we have been working with Supra for the past couple of months, working on a partnership. And coming to RWA projects, we're also including real estate, private credit, and also entertainment industries as part of RWA ecosystem that we're planning to bring on. That's a quick overview about Onion. And I've been in the crypto space since 2017, so been on the rides.
All right, so you've been around for a while. 2017, of course, was where things went mainstream for us. Yeah. That was a fun time. I think everyone remembers 2017 very fondly indeed. Yes. I just want to talk a little bit about how containers could be used across different verticals in your dedicated. If you would mind just diving into a little bit about that, maybe we could start with Vish.
Yeah, I mean, to be very honest, I still remember one of our conversations with John. We met during Denver, and he was mentioning that layer 2 are not so scalable, and we are super bullish about layer 1. And that time we were discussing more about the containers, and I have got all the early alphas of containers. So that's how the whole conversation started. And now the way it is shaping up, the way we are talking about the chain abstraction, everyone's talking about chain abstractions. I feel that containers is playing a bit important role because it is abstracting in some sort of manner, but it is more powerful and more scalable, especially when it comes to handle the number of transactions happening in Web 2. We cannot expect those kind of like transactions in Web 3 right now with any existing AVM chains. So to empower that, I think like containers will gonna play a huge role. So that is like one of the case. Second thing is like take an example of Growfitter. So they have some just like recently like shared that they have more than 2.5 million downloads, and they are like doing a crazy amount of transactions. Just imagine that how heavy it is to handle everything on chain. And I was like just like going through more details, like how everything has been like structured on the like container side. I believe that the more consumer-centric DeFi applications, more consumer-centric applications, payments, or even like gaming projects will get a huge boost by leveraging it.
What about Sam?
Yeah, I absolutely second what Wish told me. And I think it's an Eureka moment for us as well. Because as Wish said, that we have more than 2.5 million downloads and we are minting some crazy amount of transactions. And just to give you a number, on our app, we've already now transacted 13 billion steps in the last 6 months. And if we were to show every step as an on-chain transaction, I'm sure Supra chain would break. And that's where I think Supra containers are a big asset, especially for consumer-led dApps, because where there are millions of transactions happening. And certainly now we are incentivizing users. We basically are tokenizing all the real-world rewards. As we said, we get crazy amount of free products from all the big brands because they want to launch new products, and we are now tokenizing all those rewards. Going forward, we are also partnering and launching something known as NFT brand rewards. We partner with, say, big movie multiplexes. And you want to watch a movie, you just stake in the Supra or the GFIT token, and you can get 50% off on 5 movie ticket NFTs. You want to go to Starbucks, you stake the token, you get 25% off on 10 coffee NFT vouchers, flight vouchers, shoe vouchers, so on and so forth. So there's so much of opportunity and endless possibility. Plus, there's a real utility on chain for the real world rewards and brand NFTs. So I'm pretty excited to partner and make this pretty big.
I'm glad that you mentioned that you're going to bring so much volume to Supra that it could break, because that's a challenge.
And I'm going to accept that challenge, and I'm going to hit some. So Wish knows, so we use the Lync wallet and we are capable. You have to just open the floodgates and we are capable. As I told you, 13 billion transactions. Good luck to Supra.
Listen, that is outrageous volume. And the whole point of what we're doing is to create arguably the highest throughput L1 in the industry. So bring it on, is what I say.
Absolutely, Jim. Because I'll be honest with you, we've tried it with a couple of chains and they have broken. So
really, that's what good projects should be doing, bringing so much activity that, hey, it breaks. Yeah, I'm not going to go down that track right now. Marcus, what about you? Do you want to add to what has been spoken about so far before I continue to the next question?
You might be me.
Marcus, are you there?
Oh, sorry. I go by Das, so I didn't recognize my name myself. Sorry about that. Yeah, I do have a few points to add there as well regarding the containers. Yeah, I'm very well impressed with how the containers work with Supra. The one challenge I see with other layers, with L1, L2, L3, is the liquidity fragmentation. You need to bridge your assets like USDT or USDC when users want to buy any assets. And with what we are doing, Supra L2 container, I would say, or an app chain, you don't have to bridge those assets explicitly to our chain. Since they're vertically integrated, you'll have access to the liquidity pool across the L1 as well. And also, Sam has pointed out, the transactions will be huge. And when you're trying to reward users, you reward them for $1 and you spend half $1 in the transaction fees. That doesn't make actually any sense. So a very low transaction fees. And also you'll have the opportunity to reward users by incentivizing them by reducing the transaction fees, because we'll have control on what we are doing on our container or our app chain. So that is also one of the benefits I see there.
All right, so let's look at the container level and dApp level free markets. It's almost like hyper-local fee markets, right? How can this shape the economy of a dApp, of a project working within an L1 like Supra? within an entire ecosystem? Vish, let's start with you.
So like we have been working with a lot of projects. So like currently like Lync has empowered more than like almost like 500 plus projects who have been like building on different chains. And the reason why we have started coming up with our own layer 2 using Supra containers is because they are like doing a crazy amount of transactions, and they have one major concern that, okay, I want to go live, launch my application on in Web3, but I do not want my users to know about it. And that is like a very important message. And we have been like ignoring this for more than 7 years. That's why we haven't seen that kind of volume or like adoption. In Web3, usually like things ends at 100,000 users. But in Web2, things start at 100,000 users, right? So the amount of like scalability is what we are like looking forward to unlock with Supra. And not just like with DeFi application, not just like with the payments, but any consumer-centric application. Right now, like you must be like knowing about how Ton has evolved and how they have unlocked a new market of tap to earn gain. But a lot of like projects who wants to convert that every single tap, who wants to like take every single tap on chain to bring more transparency, to bring more easy, to be like very transparent with the like leaderboard and everything, to be transparent with the drop and other prizes, rewards. Now, those things are a bit challenging on the existing ecosystem. That is what we are like handling with Supra containers. We are like not targeting the Web3, not just like targeting the Web3 projects or like Web3 ecosystem partners, but our like aim is to target everyone. So whoever wants to get into Web3, doesn't matter like what they want, what are they like creating, what are they like building. They can actually like integrate and they can actually like move forward without worrying about anything, because like with Supra containers, they are like leveraging a better UX, fast transactions, low gas fees, and most importantly, security. So that is like what we are like pushing ourselves. And currently like already we are like helping almost like 15-20 plus projects who are like leveraging Lync infrastructure and who will be like going live. And these like projects are in like different domains. So not just DeFi, but everything. We are like more focused around the like consumer centric, because Supra is built in that particular manner to handle like the heavy number of transactions.
And Sam, do you want to add some comment? Obviously, with you guys, what you've done with Growfitter is outrageous. You guys have already achieved so much. And to bring your user base to Supra is something really exciting for us. But do you see opportunity with what we're providing and what we plan to provide for a user base like yours?
Absolutely, Jill. I think this is an unprecedented market opportunity. So I'll just talk about the pain point. The pain point is today in Web 2, everybody is using Amazon Web Services. But do you actually ask the user to pay 10 cents or 20 cents every time he comes on the app and does any transaction? No. If we can actually integrate Supra containers and create a paymaster where the dApp itself funds the gas fee, or the gas fees is so low that you can actually get a major non-native Web3 user on chain, incentivize them, because the major complication is that I need to buy an X token of an X chain bridge, and then a custodian, non-custodian, off-ramp, on-ramp. There's so much complications. But with Supra containers, you can create your own paymaster. You can fund the gas fees till you educate your user base, get in some massive number of transactions, and then monetize. And that's how we've actually seen the bigger apps or the dApps growing in the real world. So I think this is a tremendous opportunity for us. And as I said, we want to get in those big numbers.
Now, Das, let's come over to you and what you guys are doing with Onion to be able to digitize real world assets, tokenize real world assets.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to bring what you guys have built to Supra, would you start with specific assets? Would it be what you already have, or does it depend on our user base and the assets that we have available?
We'll initially bring on our own assets. We'll start with real estate market. We are working with some real estate firms in the US and also based out of Dubai. And we also have a gaming project, iGaming project, I would say, which are onboarding on us, which we'll bring to Supra. And yeah, we'll pretty much use mainly the app chain so that we'll have control on the transactions. And the idea is here is to bring more users onto the chain. So we'll have more transactions, more wallets. Users will already get used to the chain and using the wallet. And then as we onboard new dApps to the ecosystem, we already have a user base on the chain who are ready to explore our other products as well. There will be users from the gaming and there will be users from the entertainment industry, which we talked about, Cineverse, and also then we launch the real estate projects. So the way we are trying to build is bring on the users first and then give them the products to use.
Yeah, users first and what they want as well, I guess, what those users are using and what they want.
Yep.
Vish, you mentioned the scale of Web3. I'm going to come back to Vish now. And something you said that really interested me was the need to grow beyond just a few 100,000 users. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. But what about, let's talk about network effects and the need for composability for this kind of growth.
Yeah, that is also one of the case. But my point is like right now, most of the developers, they want to get into Web3, but they do not want to like it is because of the current challenges. And the major challenge is like Web3 can actually ruin their user experience and the whole onboarding process. So that's one of the like major concern for most of the developer. Second thing is there's like a lot of barrier to how to get into Web3. If I like know how, if I'm like front-end developer, if I can actually create a SaaS applications without worrying about anything else. But if I have to start a Web3 project, it's not about like just the language. It's not about like how to deploy a contract. You have to do a lot of other things. You have to optimize the contract. You have to audit the contract. So a lot of like initial capital is like involves, and that restrict a lot of like quality of projects. I'm like take an example since how many years we have been trying to talk about good Web3 games, right? Or how since when how we were like we are like trying to like onboard good Web3 games, but we are like failing very badly in that because most of the like Web3 games have like less than 100,000 active users, and it's not because they are not funded or like they are not good with the tech. It's always it's because they're forgetting the important meat of the game development. Like instead of focusing more on the like game economics, people are like focusing more on the like Web3 element inside the game, like how to connect your wallet, how to do transactions. So that is like one of the like major challenges, and we are like working to make a better world for everyone. We are like working to onboard like more better projects in Web3. So that's what like I said, like we have like a limited number of users because we have like a limited number of projects at the moment.
Now, just real quickly, Vish, I want to stay with you for a sec because I remember you presented at our demo day in Korea at Korea Blockchain Week very successfully, a very successful presentation. You guys were really successful at demo day. But I remember you saying that you guys are a mobile first layer 2, and a goal for you is to shift people from web to mobile in Web 3. How do you see that happening? Quick rundown. How on earth do you see that happening when so few people are operating in Web 3 on mobile?
Yeah, right now we are seeing a huge shift. Like it's like very early to be very honest, but right now it's like the best time to get the thing started. And we definitely be one of the earliest projects who are like thinking about this. And because take an example of a lot of like crypto native devices are coming, a lot of crypto native mobiles are coming, a lot of crypto native applications are coming, and we need like more. And to make it like to make it like easy for everyone to like okay launch your existing mobile applications into crypto, we have created the entire developer environment for them, so they do not have to learn something new to get into Web3. And the biggest example is Growfitter. So we have been like working with Growfitter for a quite long time, and they are like a mobile first. They are like a mobile centric application, and they have a huge amount of audience who are like using their application, but no one even like knows that they are like using a Growfitter application. even though like they are doing a huge amount of transactions every single day. And I believe that like potential of Growfitter can grow like beyond what it is like right now, because all these users they're like very solid. They have a very solid user base. I see if they want to launch a prediction market application inside their application right now, they can do that. If they want to turn their application to a quest platform, they can do that. They can do endless kind of thing. And like that, there are like tons of projects. For example, we're also talking about one play, and they have like 500 plus games with 500,000 users, and they are like the paid users. Now, these users are buying the subscription to play any games, but it has like limitations, because let's say like some users are in Russia. Now they cannot like use the existing payment gateway. Instead of using Stripe, they can just do the payment in cryptocurrency and they can still able to access the platform. So bringing like freedom to the existing users is possible with Web3. And I feel that crypto mobile adoption is like, it's very early, but in the next 5 years, it won't take like another 2 decades what it took for Web2 to onboard like tons of mobile applications, which helped us to witness the mass adoption in Web2. Web3 won't take, because we have a better device, we have a fast internet, we have all the infrastructure as it exists over here. So we do not have to wait another 2 decades. In the next 3 to 5 years, everyone will gonna prefer to do all the transactions in their phone, including like running the nodes or doing all the like complex tasks at the same time.
Yeah, I like that. Really, that would be the goal. That the next decade is the moment when people are using Web3 without knowing it, from mobile applications, from their phones, and within the next 10 years really does seem like an achievable goal with the kind of infrastructure that companies like us at Supra are building. Sam, Growfitter, something that Vish just said there, he mentioned something that I found really interesting. A lot of the users don't realize they're interacting with Web3 infrastructure at the moment. Would you say that's a true user experience for Growfitter users?
Absolutely, James. In fact, again, if you just see the pain point, people perceive very little value in NFTs. And mostly people trade in tokens for speculative gains. So technically, there is no downside protection to the user. And that's why you see so many degens coming in and then going out of the crypto market. So what if we can actually give them a platform where we can actually integrate real world rewards and NFTs and incentivize them, plus protecting the downside risks. So what we did was we launched a game. It's just like an NFT rewards game. Every time, so we've done a keyless integration where a wallet is generated at the back end. And every time you get the right answer, you mint an NFT. So again, that NFT doesn't have value, but if you mint 5 NFTs, you can actually swap it for a real smartwatch. You mint 10 unique NFTs, you can swap it for an actual Puma shoe. And if you mint 20 NFTs, you get an assured PlayStation 5. So now we are integrating the real world rewards on chain and creating real utility for NFTs and tokens. And we saw a fantastic spike in the user base, because now the user is actually minting those NFTs, minting those wallets to basically get the real world reward. So I think this is one of the big use cases. Again, as I said, going forward, we are going to do the same thing for movie tickets, for Starbucks, for flight tickets. So I think this is just the tip of the iceberg, and there's a massive opportunity out there.
Man, yeah, this
and just talking about the opportunity, as I said, that we offer real world rewards.
Guys, I'm out of time, but just real quick, if I could get one sentence just to wrap up about your excitement for Supra's launch as we bring our L1 into the industry. Obviously, we're really excited about what we have on offer. But if I could just get one final comment from each of you before I wrap up, and I'll start with Das.
Yeah, sure. I see you're launching right time in the market, and Bitcoin is at its all-time high. And coming to the blockchain perspective, I could see Supra in line with Solana based on the transaction fees and how fast it is and how easy it is to use. And also you have more components and vertical integration and all, which can be reused by all the dApps that are integrating to it. Yeah, really like it.
Let's go to Vish.
Let's bring more memes to Supra and Flip with Solana ecosystem.
Definitely.
Now you're talking. I tell you what, you bring meme coins to Supra, and I guess that's what's going to flip Solana for transaction volume. That's for sure. And Sam, wrapping up with you, man.
Absolutely. I'm pretty excited with the Supra Labs launch. And as I said, we want to get the next billion on-chain transactions on Supra and break the chain.
Our testnet's currently just over 3 million transactions. That's a billion. What is that? Doing my math, that's 0.3%.
Yes.
And that's only on testnet. So it's doable. That is very doable. Hey, let's aim before end of 2024.
Let's do that.
Let's do it, man. Sam, Vish, and Das, I want to say thank you so much for your time.